that you are live.
इनकी वॉल पे जाके एक बार रिफ्रेश कर लो। अच्छा पर आप एक मिनट, आप बुक पेज पे हो ना? वेट I'll check once. Okay.
Do you see it? I don't see it.
Yeah, he's live. अच्छा, no problems. एक काम करते हैं. I'll just start the watch party.
You can start sharing. Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so I think
can see
we're
you,
on.
so I'll just get it started.
Yeah.
Anupama, start the watch party.
Yeah, we're on. I am just doing that.
Give me the signal to go ahead, Anupama.
You can start, Dr. Sanjay.
Right.
I'll just start it.
Okay. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Namaste, namaskar, pranam, adab, sat sri akal, vanakkam. That's become my traditional way of greeting, Welcome once again to this live chat on a Saturday evening in a new format today. And the new format is that we'll have a presentation by our expert speaker, followed by a Q&A session where I'll be asking question and the audience question will be taken. Thereafter, there's a surprise performance by one of our members. So hold on to your seats, wait for that performance as well. It's a very, very important topic that we'll be talking about today. How safe are you on the internet? How safe is your data? How safe is your personal information? How safe is the communication which you do over the internet? How safe are your websites, your emails and all? And are you at any risk of being hacked, or your data leaking out to some miscreants and all? So we'll be talking about all these things, because internet has become a very important part of our life. Our life moves through the internet these days. So it's important to stay safe on the internet, on this virtual world, as much as we think of safety and security in the real world. So just like we used to have thieves in the real world, there are thieves on the internet also. So we need to be careful about them also. We have an expert with us who will be talking about this, and his Kapil Mehrotra. Let me tell you briefly about him. Kapil Mehrotra has done his MBA from IIM Bengaluru. Right now, he's working as a group CTO in National Collateral Management Services. He has more than 25 years of experience in BFSI, healthcare consulting, mobile technologies, and agri-tech domain. And he has a specialty in IT and security, in IT strategies, in infrastructure, software development, artificial intelligence and machine learning, and cybersecurity. He has been associated with HCL Healthcare, Artemis Hospital, and Apollo Munich Health Insurance in the past. And he's also presently volunteering as one of the CII's cybersecurity initiatives. So he's the right man to talk about cybersecurity for us. Kapil Mehrotra, welcome on the show. And it's so nice to have you over here, and very nice of you to have suggested this topic in the first place. And I'm sorry that you had to wait for so long, to be figured on a show. I had a series of talks lined up, so you had to wait for that. And for everyone to know that Kapil is also a member of our group, a very active and esteemed member of our group. So Kapil, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. Thank you very much. It's my honor actually.
TLC, the live chat.
So before we proceed with the presentation, I'll request Anupma to just appraise our audience with how to post the questions in the chat here on Zoom and also on the Facebook. Anupma, unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome, Kapil. So since we've changed the format a little, it's simple. Kapil will be making his presentation. And for anybody who has questions, if you are a participant in the Zoom call, please post it in the chat and we'll invite you to ask the question. If you are watching on Dr. Dhawan's wall, please post a question on the wall. We'll pick it from there. If you are watching this in TLC, feel free to post a question in the comments and we'll pick it from there. Any questions that we can't address because of the paucity of time, we will post it in TLC and Kapil will try to address them in the group. That's broadly it. And back to you, Dr. Dhawan.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Anupa, for always helping in the background. And of course, Anupa is not the only one to help in the background. There's also people like Ramanpreet, Nidhi, and in fact, the whole group is working so hard. The entire team is working so hard in the background now. So, Kapil, over to you. Just start your presentation and guide us through all that is at risk and how to safeguard ourselves.
Sure, sure. Thank you, everyone. And this is one of the very interesting topic, and I've been into past 7 years, and this I took as a challenge, and because there were so many things were happening around, and people were clueless what needs to be done. So I have been doing the academia session for various universities and colleges as a volunteer from past 7 years. But today I feel very lucky. I mean, I got some time from the Dr. Sanjay when we spoke about, he immediately agreed upon that. So I'm very fortunate enough to basically collaborate with the Dr. Sanjay. Thank you, Dr. Sanjay, for calling in this show. And it's a very wonderful show, by the way. And sorry. I hope everyone had a great day and staying safe. A lot of people from the past 6 months are talking too much about cybersecurity. But, people are not clear because of this pandemic situation. They are not aware what is right, what is wrong, because this is a new norm. So a lot of big organizations, they are also learning. They don't know because they were not having the readiness. And for this particular thing, hackers are basically taking the advantage, and they are basically increase the attack capacity from the 1% to the 400% times. So that's why now these days so many attacks are happening around, and the biggest problem is how to basically tackle. And the biggest problem more than that is where to go and report. So if, let's say, 1 lakh attacks are happening in a month, out of that only few attacks are only getting reported in the cyber cell. Other people are either they are afraid, they don't know, or they want to hide particular attack. My take is, in case anything is happening and related to the data or something else, so we should basically take an immediate action. Before I jump into the conclusion or something else, I will scroll down few slides which I'll share here, and that will give you some perspective to understand better. Just allow me a few seconds. I'll share my slides. And that will give you bigger perspective to understand. I hope everyone can see my slide now. Okay. If you to understand the cybersecurity, first you understand the type of threats. What all the type of threats are around? We are aware by few of them, but it is very difficult to understand completely. So in this slide, what I'm trying to basically put in, at least we can basically hear some buzzwords or maybe understand some buzzwords, so that like we can correlate what happened with you, or maybe how you can secure with those incidents. So first thing is the phishing attack, which is very common attack now these days. And the phishing attack basically percentage got increased by hackers because that's one of the soft target area. By that they can steal a lot of information, because people now these days going to the Amazon, going to the other sites, and they are basically looking for a lot of discounts. So what hackers are doing it, they are creating the emails and they are sending to the people, so that they can basically catch those people, those are showing the interest, and easily those information they can use it and they can steal their user ID and password. So my submission is, please do not click on any email or do not open any attachment until unless you are very sure this is coming from the right source. Similarly, fake links. So many SMS, so many emails are coming. Please click here and they will take you in some URL. That you should not do that, because what they do, they install an agent in your mobile or in laptop, and that will start sending all the information out. That is why so many scams are happening, OTP scams. So many scammers are calling you and asking for the OTP. If you are not giving, they are sending you a link and you are clicking by any chance, and you will get compromised. Similarly, Paytm, UPI, credit card, so many wallets are there. And the biggest challenge is by this route, if you get compromised, so your important data will get compromised. That is why, like, I would suggest, and the thing is, do not keep very important information in your mobile or laptop. Keep keep taking the backup of those information into the hard disk or USB or somewhere, keep in the locker. Reason is because we are a human being and we are using the same user ID password all across for our convenience. And by any chance, if you get compromised by using the same user ID password, they can basically go to the various sites and they can steal information. They can basically log in your system and steal your information. So I would say avoid that. And especially in the mobile, please do not save your credit card bank PIN number in the contact list. Most of the people, they do this mistake. And do not save your user ID password in any of the wallets. Do not download anything from the Play Store or iTunes, which until and unless you are not sure 10 million, 5 million, or you have to refer every time downloads. Any application, if you're downloading, I'm giving you an example. Let's say you are trying to download Paytm. And if there is a message, 5,000 downloads, can you believe it? Just correlate that situation. Paytm, 5,000 downloads, never ever can be happen. Right now, 10 million, more than that, right? Because so many people are using. So you can use some common sense. So what hackers started doing is they started making the cloning application with the same name. And they are also there in the same Play Store. Whenever you're searching, same icon, same logo, everything will come up in front of you. And when you click, everything will get installed with that agent and you may basically get compromised. So be careful, especially I've seen it, so many cases happened with the IRCTC websites, IRCTC applications, SBI applications. They were having the cloning applications. And so many people got compromised because of that. They were not knowing what happening is entire data got stolen from the mobile and they are just getting the SMS. That's it. So another big problem what I've seen is hackers now these days, what they are doing is they are basically enabling your camera. They are hacking your system and enabling your audio and camera. Reason is because we allow a lot of applications like Eco, Google Dot, and these kind of applications, and any application you are installing, first thing is it is asking camera and audio. The moment you give the access to them, they can hear you everything. They can, even you are not talking over on a phone, but they have a capability. They can hear every conversation of yours. So please, please do not allow anything on mobile, or there are certain things are coming. I mean, or you can take a chat and put on a camera, right? Reason is because if something is very extremely urgent, laptop should be on whole night and then like this. Please, please avoid this situation. Shut down your devices properly and close it. And phones are most vulnerable and easily targeted devices. Same thing happening with the social media. People are scamming like anything. What they are hackers, what they are trying, they will basically steal your user ID password, and they will start sending, some help messages to your contacts please transfer 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees. They will ask small amount, which your friends can, without asking, can transfer. Okay. Right. So you can understand their tricks actually. So every time keep changing your user ID password, and every social media site has to be linked with your mobile, so that if somebody, let's say, taken over user ID password by hook and crook, doesn't matter, at least when he's trying to change something, you will get alert immediately. So that's the way. If your mobile number or email ID is not associated for the OTP purpose, please associate first, right? So that somewhat you will be get secure. And keep changing your user ID passwords. SQL injections, this is very common to inserting malware on website, so that like they can steal entire server or corporate information. Fake websites are there. Whenever any deal is coming on a Flipkart, Amazon, or any Myntra site, so what they do is like they create the same kind of, website, cloned websites, and they circulate everywhere. If you are not reading properly the URL, you may having chances to get compromised. Credit card cloning. Do not keep too many cards in your wallet. So many people are basically carrying 5, 10, 20 credit cards in the wallet. I would advise not to basically carry. Now these days, cloning devices are coming. So somebody will basically, cloning devices are very small. It's like a mobile. Somebody will come just back of yours, and he might be having this kind of device. You will think, okay, this is a mobile or something, but he can click a button there, and whatever stuff you are having in your wallet, it will be get cloned in that device, right? And they can use it. That cloned stuff will not ask your OTP, even nothing. You will get only SMSs, and they will use mostly on the international sites. So I would advise, another thing is, do not carry too many things, because now these days credit card protectors are coming. So it's a kind of a wallet, insulated wallet, where you can keep all the cards. If somebody is trying through the infrared device, it cannot be get through. Another thing is, just disable your international check in every card or debit card until unless you are not using international transaction and doing international transactions. Reason is, it's a phone away. You can call to bank and you can enable or disable credit card international transaction check. So at least you will be saved. That guy cannot use that card international sites. Only in India he can use it. And in India, if he's trying, so there are chances you can catch hold on that guy. So because if any transaction happen on an international websites, then it becomes the Interpol cross-country rules and regulations. So that thing is very complex. That particular, network is very complex, where you can just forget that, because it's not easy to recover your money in case if someone use your card on international websites. DDoS attacks in networks are very common now these days. What user does it, because basically they attack on the corporates, they attack on the countries as well. So it's a war actually. So what they do is they are choking the gateway of the internet. And what they do is they creating the spam request, and in the capacity of the terabytes, so that like a country or corporate network get choked. And the moment they attack, they are keep trying it. Believe me, now these days they keep trying it, and they are basically doing just for the fun sake, to let down that country, let down that corporate. So just understand whatever happened in the past. I quickly run through. So this was a very popular virus, I Love You virus. It was happened in 2000, and the cost of this virus, damage cost of this virus, was 31 billion. So from that time onwards, like this is one of the trends started. My Doom cost was $38 billion. So every attack is costing too much across world or across country. And Conficker costed 9 billion. NotPetya costed so much, because this was one of the new trend hackers started, Earlier, they were basically using the malware, spyware to attack on the countries. Now they have changed the way they are attacking through the ransomware, which is crypto, right? What it does, it like whenever they are attacking on any country, so they encrypt the information. To basically decrypt that, you have to pay the Bitcoin to them, which is more dangerous. I mean, and there is no guarantee even after the after you're paying, they will give back your data or give back your information. Recently, so many cases happened around Mithas Sweets, Haldiram, CTS, all these big brands, they got compromised, and they were ready to pay 5 crore, 10 crore, whatever the, you know, ransom hackers were asking, they were ready to pay. Maze is the latest virus, ransomware, which is now basically running around the world, and world is basically very much worried about this virus. There was a one virus was very popular, Game Over Juice, and it was the crypto locker. Because of this particular virus, like FBI basically ready to give the bounty of $3 million on the hacker who was created this virus. It was very interesting story. Uh, you can Google it and you can read about that. It's very, very interesting. And what is the basically consequences in case something happened? So why and what happened with you? You will lose data, reputation, or maybe business. Not only that, now these days cyber law is very stringent, and they will ask you if you were dealing with the customer, so why you have not saved data. Maybe they will enforcement authorities may enforce the penalty on you. You were dealing with the public data and you were not basically handled properly. So now rules are getting day by day stronger. So we should be also very careful. If we think like attack happened, I am the sufferer, I am the, you know, guy who basically bearing the losses. No, they will cross question you. You should bear the losses. That is one thing, but you should face the penalty as well. Okay. Just to little, I'm diverting a little bit. Peter Drucker is one of the father of management thinking. So in case if you are very fond with the books, so please, I would request, please read the books. And I love the book because he's written more than 50 plus books in his career. And he's one of the author who is known for the management thinking. The best book, what I found is The Effective Executive. Moving back again in the cybersecurity space, so wherein like just try to understand the complete landscape. In 2020, we must secure 300 billion passwords and 111 billion lines of the news codes which we are going to write in 2020. The world digital content is expected to grow 96 zettabyte. So currently we are talking GB, TB, and now we are talking for the zettabyte. Dark web, where they are selling information away. So that's a play store for hacker, where they are going after hacking, they are putting the data and they are getting the money and they are running away. And sometimes hackers just for the fun, they are doing the hacking and they are putting data there. Maybe somebody will found, some researchers will found that data after 10 years or 10 years or maybe 5 years or 2 years or maybe instantly, right? And then things are coming in the news because so many companies doesn't know they got compromised. And after 5 years, somebody is doing research on a dark web and he found something and then he is declaring it in the media. Okay, this company got compromised in 2005, right? So it's a 5,000 bigger than the internet what you see now. 20 million connected cars are basically planned to ship. And 1 crore 80 lakh daily images getting uploaded on the internet. 50 billion devices connected to the internet currently. I'm talking for all the IoT devices, like wearables, medical devices, everything is now having the internet capability. If you look at the world roadmap, so there like you will be very surprised. Total population of world is 7.8 billion and number of users are, wherein internet connected users are 4.8 billion. Total number of smartphones connected are 3.5 billion. Total number of mobile phone users 4.8 billion. And social media active users are 4.17 billion users worldwide we have. And if look at the India the perspective, wherein total population is 138 crore, number of internet users like 699.77, means 70 crore. There are about 450 million smartphones, means 45 crore smartphones users are in India. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, if you talk for 1.7 crores, 34.6 crore and 10 crore million users of social media users are there. 41 million real-time transaction happening in a day. If you financial transaction I'm talking for, including Paytm, bank, net banking, every day. I'm talking for every day. Just read this value again. 41 million real-time transaction happening in a day. Per year, we are doing around 21 billion UPI transactions and 12 billion Paytm transactions. So just see the space. See the space, how big it is. It's required a lot of security and we are not up to mark. We are not there. Per month, earning of one hacker is $75,000. That is why ethical hackers and the hackers, they are coming in this space. That's why I'm asking, is your job worth what we are doing? Day, night, we are slogging and we are going office, meeting people, and we are working more than 14, 15 hours in pandemic time. Is that job is worth, right? But we are the good guys. We never think about anything negative. So our job is worth and we are always talking positively. Cybercrime costed businesses $4 trillion. Cybercrime will cost the world $6 trillion by 2021. So I'm just giving some perspective. These numbers are big, so you can correlate if anything breaches. So how dangerous that is, right? Let's look at the hackers roadmap. 30,000 new websites are getting hacked every day. That's a hacker's roadmap, what I'm talking for. Hacker creates 3 lakh new pieces of malware every day. There is a hacker attack every 39 seconds. Just imagine, we are sitting at home, we are not aware, okay, something is happening. You never know, you already compromised. 62% people are experience phishing attacks. 64% of companies having experienced web-based attacks. Distributed denial services growing like anything. As I said, 500% now. It reaches now 1.44 terabyte attack they can do on country. It is more than enough to choking the entire internet of a country. And I've seen it. Last year I traveled to US and I was booking Uber there, and I was not able to because US got the distributed denial service attack there. And 4 hours, nobody was able to use internet in country like US. 41% ransomware attack are rising year on year. If you look at this matrix, 1,58,727 per hour, 2,645 per minute, and 75 every second, every day attacks are happening. It's huge. It's huge. And India, how many cases in a month getting registered? 5,000, less than 5,000. It means we are not aware whether we are compromised or maybe don't know. Another big worry is coming in our way, deep fake bots. Now these days, so many things are happening. People are stealing your images and they are creating look-alike images, right? And they are creating videos, look-alike videos. They are creating look-alike voice, which is similar to you. How they are doing? They are using a technology called artificial intelligence, and they created the apps. In Play Store, iTunes, everywhere, all these apps are available. Deepfake bots are available. You can download and you can basically create a funny videos. But if those application hacker may use, they can use it, your information like anything. So please be aware. Please, I would advise here, please do not post your selfies on the social media sites, because selfie has the best facial resolution, right? That is why selfies are very popular. And for hackers, those are basically doing image processing hacking, right? For them, selfie is the best picture because it has a complete facial recognition requirement, what they are exactly looking for. So I would advise always do not take selfie like this or posting frequently on a website. Take normal camera picture or post it, because for that they have to little struggle. So ultimately we have to find the way to escape ourselves. So some of the case studies I want to discuss quickly, that will be give you another perspective. 9/11 terrorist attack. So we all were thinking it's a terrorist attack and US was basically executing, but just imagine it, how US was getting intelligence at the back end, right? And how they got the clue this was done by the Osama bin Laden. So there was a technology used called stenography. So when they were exploring the entire world data, they got to know there are 6 images like this, what I'm showing here. And at the same time, from the same location, went to the different people. Then they were like day night, like thinking, why 6 people from the zone, which is very much, popular for the terrorism, and why they just sent the images? What is the story behind that? And then researchers did the research and they found there was a hidden message under this image, and which was used by stenography, and which was there was a message, okay, at this time by this plane you have to do the attack, something like that, right? So it's a big story. So like they have used this encryption methodology for the attack. Ashley Madison. Ashley Madison is very popular website, and this is known for the dating. And when this site got compromised, so many people, they were having external affairs and they went for the suicide. Reason is because their information got compromised, right? And they were not able to basically face the kind of a situation there, and that they basically post this hacking was very popular because of post this hacking. So many people have done the suicide. That is why that's very popular. And this is the few snaps of that particular dark web where hackers post hacking, they have posted this information on the dark web, and then post that researchers got this information, and then we came to know this site got compromised. And this is one of the case. We think this is a hacking. No, this is not a hacking, but this is having the equal meaning of hacking. Like everybody does a mail, and let's say you copied so many people in a CC, and the information, let's say your medical reports, you don't want to send to everyone. By mistake it went to the like 20 people. This is what exactly happened in this case. London HIV clinic, where somebody basically wanted to send information of HIV reports, right? It went to all the organization, and everybody came to know, okay, so and so having the HIV. So it was having implications of the HIV. If a case went to the court, and the same kind of law has been enforced. It's kind of a hacking. Sony hacking is very popular, where like hackers, Korean hackers, they given the warning to Sony not to basically make movie on my president, but Sony have not basically taken care of that particular warning. So to basically teach the lesson to Sony, hackers basically hacked their website and entire server, and basically released the new movie, The Interview, on the net. And Sony was basically invested very heavy first time on this movie, right? And they have lost everything, credibility, all the data, and the medical information of employees. Everything was publicly, they have announced, hackers announced. Just they have given the warning, and Sony avoided that warning. So this was the screen. This was a group. They basically attacked on the Sony. And this was another story of the Mercer. This is one of the popular logistic company, and where like when attack happened, so they were having 130 country operation, 90,000 employees, and 45,000 PCs and 4,000 servers overall. And believe me, all the servers got hacked except one. So 3,999 servers got hacked. Only one server. That day, that server was not working because of the power issue. That server was down. Because of that server, Mercer recovered entire data and they started operation. But it took so much time, and they have, by the time, they have lost $300 million. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. I'm very fond with the book, so you will keep seeing like some of the notes like this. Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu is a warrior, Chinese warrior, and he written the book called The Art of War. If you've not read that book, must go. If you want to basically learn how to basically plan a strategy, if you don't know about that business, if you think you're weak, you don't know this business, please read this book, Art of War. And there are so many books are there, and these are a few popular books are there. Lean Startup, Hooked, How Will You Measure Your Life? Measure What Matters. Shoe Dog, it's one of the very popular book actually, Phil Knight. This is my favorite book. $1 Trillion Coach, and must read book, because how like Eric, Jonathan, and Alan, all these are a big bull, like Google and Microsoft ex guys, and they have came together and written this book. Must go for this. And one of the site I want to demonstrate, I think I'm just reaching to the end. Then probably we can have the question and answer session. Let me demonstrate a couple of slides, and then probably we'll take the few questions. Wherein like, I'll share my screen. Can you see my browser? Is my browser is visible to you?
No, we're still seeing that PowerPoint.
Okay, let me share that. Okay. Can you see now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So this is the site called Shodan. Shodan is a site where all the open CCTVs, open IoT devices get hooked actually. And this is the favorite spot of the hacker, where they go, and from there they are basically fetching any information and they are attacking on a network. Another popular site which I want to show that, where this site you can also try, wherein you can check your password, email ID, whether it got compromised ever. So I'm just showing here. Can you see this site properly?
Yeah, we can, yes.
Okay. So I'm writing the, my Gmail ID. And let's see whether it is ever compromised or not. Good news, no ping found. Reason is, if and you want to try your email ID here, so you can try your email ID. It will be gives you the exact information whether it got compromised, or when or where, right? It will be give you exact information. So like these are the few things which I wanted to basically highlight, and wherein like I will advise you not to share public information like this until unless you are very sure. Over to you, Dr. Sanjay.
Thank you very much. That's really enlightening and a bit scary also in your conversation now. So I think what you told has scared us more than enlightened us, no?
Yeah.
And has given rise to a lot of questions, So I think let me start with my questions first. So see, of course, you talked about all the cyber attacks and all. And earlier on, when we were talking about security, we were only thinking of viruses, which will only corrupt your data, damage your hard disk, and you may have to. And then, of course, those antiviruses were there. The Norton, McAfee's were there in those days, And we had even heard that some of the antivirus companies are floating viruses, and then they're offering solution in return also.
Yeah.
But I think things have gone much higher and bigger than that. So hacking and all that, the malware, phishing, which you talked about. From a common man's point of view, let us go step by step. How to protect ourselves? You talk about the attacks. What are the risks involved? What are the difficulties involved? How
Yeah.
to safeguard ourselves? One, of course, is
The,
keep fine. Don't post your selfies and all. Don't make your pictures public. So let me know step by step that what are the things that we can do to protect and safeguard ourselves now.
right. As a common man, what you have to do is, first of all, do not share your password, which is very common thing. Everybody talks about that, right? And it is fact. It still applies today. And the other thing is like keep changing your password, and every time take the backup of your data, right? If tomorrow you got compromised, no worries, I mean, at least you have the backup and you can restore it, right? Change your password frequently frequently. Do not share anything. So this is one. Secondly, like anything, if you feel suspicious, be aware, right? If some friend is I mean doing some activity which you don't like it, don't leave your phone. Please don't sell your phone ever. Never ever be greedy for just for 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 rupees. Don't sell. Better destroy. I'm using the same word. Don't sell phone, because everything can be recovered. If you think is you're formatted and then you're selling it, no, nothing. Everything can be recovered from the low level uh, hard hard disk. So whatever tracks are there, magnetic traps are there, data can be retrieved. So you should be very careful, and especially do not latch on a open Wi-Fi, right? If you are traveling like an airport, or you are traveling on a mall or coffee shop, please do not use open network. That's one of the first entry point for the hacker. From there, they are hacking a lot of information. In airport, I've seen so many cases. People are putting the phone on a charger, and charger has a capability to basically steal your data. So many cases happened on a Delhi airport and a Mumbai airport. So I would say, like, please do some arrangement which is basically uh, uh, you can avoid. I mean, whenever you're traveling, so you should be very careful about that, and do not take a lot of stuff along with you. Mobile में सारे card and all these things are not required. Everything becomes digital, and do not save the password anything on your mobile. Keep easy password. Just say like I love pets. So it's very easy, right? I love pets. So there has to be some capital letter combination, or maybe numeric number just added. So use easy phrases to keep the password, which you can easily recall. Do
So
not
coming to the
keep it in.
password policy, I mean, so you're saying that easy phrases, and we hear that the password should be difficult to guess. How do you combine these two together?
Difficult to guess means like uh, how many times you forget and uh, request for the again request. Let's say you are in some urgency and you forget the password. Then what you have to do? You have to again basically go to the password forget option, and then you will try to basically struggle with creating the new password.
Mhm.
What I'm saying is that it's called password phrasing,
Mm.
wherein like I know only my choices, right? You don't know, right? So I know, let's say I love pet. It's a very common for me. So many times I'm using this, but I can use this word, but with some tricks, some complexities, like question mark, zero, in place of this O, like I put zero. These kind of changes you have to do, and then that you can easily remember that.
But now, talking about the passwords, one, of course, is said that one should not use one password everywhere.
Yeah, correct.
Each of your logins should have a different password
Different
now,
password.
and maybe have a password policy for yourself.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so when people don't think in terms of password policy, but there should be password policy for oneself. No, that will help you remember the passwords, and also have you keep different passwords for different sites. No,
Yes,
and now there are some apps and some softwares, some services where you can actually save your passwords.
right, right.
How secure are they?
No, they are tools. Those are paid tools. They are very secure. So what they will do, they will sync all the password. but those are freely available. I'll never advise to go for it. Never ever go for it, because they will save your password, but there is no guarantee your password can be compromised anytime, because they are also taking all the information in their database, and there are chances like their database can be get compromised as well. So please do not.
Even the paid services are at risk of compromise.
At risk, of course, they are risk, but they are reliable. They are reliable. At least they are working towards that to secure your data. There is a commitment.
Yeah. So is there any such company, any such thing that you would recommend? Okay, fine, that this is very secure and safe, and they're up to the mark, and we can use that service. Because see, if you have now these days, we've got multiple logins, bank accounts, email accounts, social media accounts, and all. And if you keep a separate password for every login, it's very difficult to remember that. No?
I know.
So
it's a very common problem.
Yeah.
It's a very common problem, but I will not recommend any tool to use as a common man, because it will be a little expensive for you as well. And it's not good idea to use such kind of tool. You should basically develop a methodology. By that you can track easily. For example, let's say my doggy name is Oscar. So I use sometime Oscar Amazon. Let's say I created a password on Amazon. So AZ, Oscar AZ, right? I'm going on a Gmail. So Oscar GM. So these kind of, some kind of tricks you have to develop. I know, because so many things are there, and the same password you can't use it, but you can basically develop the trick. So what I do is generally I use 2 characters of those websites. So that way I can recall it. Okay, this is the way like I have to do that. Oscar GM, Oscar AZ. I'm just giving you examples. So like this is the way like you have to do that.
right. So, but you would advise against using the apps for saving the password.
Totally
How about
against
like say iPhone has got its own way of saving the password in the keychain now,
Yeah.
and on the iCloud. So is that safe or is that not safe?
That's a very good software actually. That's a very good software. If you have iPhone, I think you can take the risk of that. That's not an issue. But Android, never ever.
But there, in the iPhone, you must have a passcode on your phone.
Yes.
And keep the phone locked.
Locked.
So because these phones are become very, very precious nowadays, your OTPs come on the phone, your information is on the phone, and you access things from the phone. So phone has become very, very vital device.
I have a small suggestion. Yes. I have a small suggestion. For the banking number, you take another number or dot phone. Okay. Everything route there. Everything routed. On the smartphone, never ever take the chance, because the vulnerabilities are getting increased. And so many cases, if you see 5,000 per month cyber crime cases getting reported, out of that, most of the cases are basically having the same issue, right? So this is one of the
So your suggestion is to have 2 phones. One phone which is for the banking thing, where you get your OTPs on the phone.
OTPs there, yeah.
And it should not be. It should be a dumb phone, not a smartphone, but dumb phone.
Correct.
And for want of a better word, a dumb phone, no, and use the other phone for normal usage,
Correct.
Well, that is an interesting policy to have, no.
Yeah.
What about those firewalls? Can you install a firewall on your system and safeguard your data and safeguard your information?
So if you are an end user, like a common man us, so then most of the Windows having the firewall, right? But like you don't need firewall as such actually. If you are an end user.
Right. A very common thing is those the sites which are cloned, and people forget to look at the URL.
Correct.
And the address in the URL may be just one alphabet different.
Correct.
Right. So it could be just one instead of A, it could be O, or instead of I, it could be L.
Correct.
And it may look similar, but you may land up in a very different site. So I think people should be aware of the fact that yes, the URL is the address, and you should exactly match the URL. Never click on a link sent to you on an email or on a message.
Never. Correct.
So those malicious mails which you mentioned about and malicious links which come on, they think one has to stay completely off that. See, of course, online data is not safe, but how about the offline data on your device, on your hardware, on your laptop and all?
Hmm.
How unsafe is that?
That is very unsafe. If someone else is using it or you are sharing your password, that's very unsafe. And if you don't have antivirus or other protections, so take the backup. See, I would only advise not to, as I in my conversation I use the word, not to have critical information. Don't store critical information ever in laptop or mobile,
Hmm.
right? I have seen it. People are doing lot and they are using mobile as a computer. Entire thing is there. I'm a little worried about them in case once they lose that phone, everything will be went off. So I would advise like just have patience and keep parking everything in a storage device and keep in the lock.
So what to do in case your phone is stolen or your device is stolen?
The first thing you have to do is like every phone should have the basically application which is coming along. It's for the tracking actually. So like Samsung, every phone now these days are giving tracking capability. So you should basically configure your email ID with the tracking so that like in case somebody is stolen your phone, so you go on the immediately website and track your phone where it is. There are two options. Either you can wipe off entire information from the phone and lock your phone. So iPhone is very secure, right? In iPhone, like you can go to the website and you say wipe off a lock or double lock, like everything is there.
Right.
So people cannot open that. So you should not worry about it. But in case Android phone, so at least you configure your tracking. So find my phone as an application, which comes default, right? Go there and configure your email ID. At least you will be saved. You can track your phone last position, and if you think like somebody stolen and he can misuse information, you can wipe it from there, right? So at least one way you can be saved.
But the thieves are very smart these days. They don't really, they do go immediately off the grid. They know
Right.
that if your
So,
device is on the internet, they can be tracked. Then they immediately go off the grid, switch off the device, and they don't log on to the internet. And then because 2 years ago, my iPad and my iPhone was stolen,
huh, huh,
and it was my second phone. I had the alternative phone, and
right.
both of them had a passcode. They were on Find My Phone service. I could track them to a point.
Okay.
And the phone was already locked, and I had initiated that wipe of the data thing, our system also. But after 15 minutes, they both the things went off the grid, and they never came onto the network again.
Right. So they are the smartphones because there are softwares available. So till that point where they must be using the software. Till there, like you can track them. Post that not. And other thing is like you can, if it is an iPhone, don't worry in case whenever it will be get on or somebody will try to insert the same there, IMI number will be get tracked, right? So
But the
in the
IMI
software
number can be changed. This is what I've heard. The
now
latest thing.
these days, yes,
Yeah,
now
it
these
can be
days, yes,
changed.
it can be changed.
And
So they can tamper that as well, but
yes,
for that he has to open the phone.
yeah,
If he doesn't know if he's using the SIM card, then you can be tracked. So I have recovered my laptop, one of the colleagues' laptop, which was stolen in Noida, and we found in Jaipur. So that guy was trying this at 2:30 in the night. Like we sent the police and we recovered that laptop. We got the laptop. So iPhone, products are very safe. That's what I'm saying is like this is the problem with the Android.
so this question comes in: how do you activate the police to go and find those places? Because when
They have
I
a
asked the
software.
police, they were not helping.
Reason is they never write the complaint. Until
And
unless you will. So for the complaint management, what you have to do, you have to go to the portal. It's called uh, cyber crime portal, right? And where you have to go and report this. Now these days, they have to hear you. I mean, there is no way out. They can't escape.
it's
They
the
cannot
same
escape.
portal as Cyber Dost.
No. So
Okay.
can you see this screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So there you can go cybercrime.government.in.
Okay.
And they, for the women and child especially, they have created a email ID and they are very, very active now these days.
Okay.
it's just in 2 minutes you can write the complaint, and once the complaint will get generated, everything they will help you. Earlier, what scenario you were telling there, they were not written the complaint. That is why they have not done anything.
What they wrote the complaint also, but they did not take an action, and so
They
that,
generally ask you to write the missing.
yeah. So
somehow
so actually the message here to take home is that you should be extra careful in locking your devices. You know that
Yeah.
don't depend on police, don't depend on these tracking things. Also,
Correct.
make sure that you have a passcode and it becomes activated immediately. Don't share that passcode with anybody. Don't leave your devices unprotected. No. And that's a very, very
That's very
important thing. And yes, know about your devices. Make use of those security safety features. No, like iPhone and all the Apple devices have got this Find My Device, Find My Phone feature.
Yeah, correct.
And you can actually, send a message to the person. You can wipe a data. You can lock the device remotely. So all that can be done. So make sure that you use that. Anupma, do we have any questions from the audience?
We have one question. In fact, we have two. One question, Kapil, is how frequently should we change our passwords? And the second, I think you've already answered in the sense of where to keep so many passwords, and you've already talked in detail as to how every individual can create their own password policy.
Yeah.
So I think that gets answered. But how frequently do you recommend the changing of passwords is what someone's asking.
If I talk for the corporates, like in corporates, we have a policy for 45 days or 30 days or 60 days policy, depend on the criticality. Like we said this policy, and same applies on a like end user. You keep changing your password whenever you feel suspicious, or 30 days is good enough to change the password.
Okay. And what do we do if our email ID is already pawned?
Nothing to worry. Just go and change the password, and password is the key only. So you have to change the password. That's it.
So, Dr. Dhawan, those are the audience questions. Kapil, I also have one question for you, and this is coming both from corporate experience, also some experience of working with a company that used to manufacture sell tracking devices for vehicles.
Okay.
I understand that there is no foolproof mechanism to technology hacking, and I get that. And I also get that beyond the point, there's only this much that we cannot share. Like, I have two options: either I go off the grid, or and I be super paranoid about everything,
Yeah.
or I go there with caution. But what I want to ask you is, how much caution is caution enough? Like, I know it's less of a technical question and more of a philosophical question, so to say, but how much of paranoia is not paranoia?
I would say, I mean, it's not that easy working in a corporate, and there are several, policies are there, and but we have to build a culture. We have to build a culture, and we have to. It's not that like I'm working in a corporate, I enforce the policy and people should follow that. But I will make more awareness, and so that gradually they reason is because if you will take away everything, then there's a problem, right? So what we do is generally we aware and then we enforce. So that's the way like we do that.
I get that. So basically you're saying that awareness is going towards...
Correct.
Cool. Dr. Dhawan, those are the questions that we have. That's all we have for today.
Thanks, Anupma. So that was an amazing talk, and a very relevant and very important subject that Kapil talked about. So stay safe, keep your things safe, keep your information safe, keep your devices safe. And these are very, very basic common sense things which one can easily do. At least do that. More than that, more technical stuff, okay, you can take the help of experts, but whatever you can do yourself, you must take all those precautions. That comes to, the first part of our program was that. And we go to the next section, which is
TLC, the live chat.
today's surprise thing, and is going to be a live performance by one of our own members, and we have a very own Dr. Seema Bajaj who will be performing for us live today. Dr. Seema is an eye surgeon working in Delhi in Rohini, and she's been an old friend from Lady Harding, and she happens to be wife of a close friend of mine. And you all know her. She's a known face on the group and really admired for her singing and for her writing also. Seema,
Hi, Sanjay.
how are you doing?
Thanks. I'm doing good, yeah.
So how are you enthralling us today?
See, Sanjay, you made me sing in public. I never used to sing. Thank you for bringing my singing out of my room. Not exactly bathroom. I used to sing in my own room. So today being Saturday, and everybody is in a mood for festivity. So I thought I'll do some fast BT numbers.
Yes.
I've compiled a sort of medley. I hope my speakers don't, leave me in between and I'm able to sing live. So should I start?
Your voice is fine. You can enable the original sound if you need to.
Yes.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
So do I start?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And we'll mute ourselves till then.
Okay. So I plan that maybe in the end, we can sing together, all of us, at the end of the medley. I'll just start. Just tell me, is the volume okay?
Volume is fine.
Is the volume of the music, is it fine?
Yes, yeah.
शाम है, जाम है, यार है नशा, तन भी है, मन भी है, पिघला हुआ, छाई है रंगीनियां, फिर भी है बेताबियां, क्यों धड़कता है दिल, क्यों ये कहता है दिल, दीवानों को अब तक नहीं है ये पता, आ छलका चाहतों का प्याला, बिन कतल किए ही मार डाला, बेकरार कर डाला। छलका चाहतों का प्याला, बिन कतल किए ही मार डाला। हुजूर हुजूर आला, हुजूर हुजूर आला, हुजूर हुजूर आला, हुजूर हुजूर आला। बेकरार कर डाला, छलका चाहतों का प्याला, बिन कतल किए ही मार डाला, बेकरार कर डाला। छलका चाहतों का प्याला, बिन कतल किए ही मार डाला। हुजूर हुजूर आला, हुजूर हुजूर आला, हुजूर हुजूर आला, हुजूर हुजूर आला आला। हो कुछ ख्याल तुम करो, कुछ ख्याल हम करें, ना सवाल तुम करो, ना सवाल हम करें। कुछ ख्याल तुम करो, कुछ ख्याल हम करें, ना सवाल तुम करो, ना सवाल हम करें। हुजूर आला, हुजूर हुजूर आला, हुजूर हुजूर आला, हुजूर हुजूर आला। I guess my speaker, there's one more song. My speaker is, just a minute. I'll just
Somebody hacked
continue.
your speaker, I think, you know. Cyber attack.
Actually, I have a Chinese speaker. वो अपने mood के हिसाब से.
So this must be an American who's attacking, you know. We've got some people from America over here, you know.
Just a minute. Yeah. Yeah. So it started off again. And stopped again. How was it sounding, Sanjay? Was the voice clear enough?
Very good, very nice. No? And
Okay.
but your speaker needs to be, you know, I think local for vocal, or vocal for local, no?
Yeah. Thank God it didn't leave me right at the beginning.
So it's time to upgrade your speakers.
Yes, yes.
Tell Rajiv to get you something really expensive, nice ones, you know.
Oh, no, I'll have to do it myself.
No, I think why don't you hack it to say कैसे count now?
छोड़ो सनम काहे का गम, हंसते रहो खिलते रहो। छोड़ो सनम काहे का गम, हंसते रहो खिलते रहो। मिट जाएगा सारा गिला, हमसे गले मिलते रहो। छोड़ो सनम काहे का गम, हंसते रहो खिलते रहो। ला 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 can join me.
That would be noisy and out of
Very
sync.
noisy. Okay. छोड़ो सनम हा, काहे कदम हा, हंसते रहो खिलते रहो छोड़ो सनम काहे कदम हंसते रहो खिलते रहो मिट जाएगा सारा गिला हमसे गले मिलते रहो छोड़ो सनम काहे कदम हंसते रहो खिलते रहो ला 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 So that's it.
Wow, fantastic. Amazing choice of songs. Manpreet has stolen all your songs as
Okay.
possible group songs for TLC group, no?
Okay.
I think
Okay.
so.
But yes, I do need
So
speakers.
amazing.
I need good speakers. Thank you, Manpreet.
Yes,
Yeah,
these
that's-
are all
that's-
next group songs for us.
Okay.
That's the American who hacked into your musical Seema.
I hacked in your brain.
Yeah.
No, I need to change my speakers. Yes.
So of
And
course,
all songs were so perfect to follow up after cyber security.
Okay.
आपके कंप्यूटर में कोई रहता है
हम नहीं
होना
कहते,
है
कपिल
क्या
कपिल कहता है, no.
हाँ, आज की रात होना है क्या
Yes.
हाँ, all were so perfect
So
songs.
it was really amazing. Seema, thank you
Really
very
enjoyed.
much for lightening up
loved
our
it.
show.
I love
And
to.
so this is going to be the new format of the show, guys. That there'll be a conversation with an expert for about half an hour or so, followed by a performance by one of our members, and I will be reaching out to various people to invite them to perform. In case you think that you want to perform and you have something really interesting to offer, you can directly get in touch with me. I'll be happy to maybe I'll be creating a list, sort of a wait list, and give a proper sequence to that. So that brings us to the end of today's talk. Kapil, once again, thank you very much for giving us very valuable information. Scary, but very, very important, And I think it's very, very justified to feel scared so that we take steps to safeguard ourselves. And Seema, thank you very much for really wonderful
my
performance
pleasure.
as expected from you.
My pleasure.
And thank you, Manpreet. Thank you, Anupma. Thank you, Nidhi, for helping in the background. I thank all the members for making the group very, very lively and vibrant. Stay active like this, stay connected like this, because this is the TLC, as our dear friend Giri says. So that's the end of today's live chat. Thank you very much. Please give us your feedback on whether you like this new format or not, or whether you want to go back to the old format. Secondly, next weekend is Diwali. So I think we will not be having any live chat on the next weekend. So we'll take a break in the next week. We'll be back again after 2 weeks with another session of live chat. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you again then. Bye-bye.
Bye.